Long Island man in need of a life-saving organ donation.
Finding a match has only been complicated by the coronavirus pandemic. News 12's Shauna Narayan explains why.
You don't realize how sensitive and fragile your organs are until they're taxed to the point that they stop working.
Brett Ashley's life changed last February when his kidneys went into failure.
I had an infection that went septic, and I spent several weeks at St. Francis Hospital where they saved my life, but they couldn't save my kidneys.
He has been searching for a kidney donor since March and has been on dialysis since last year. Due to the pandemic, his search has been even more difficult.
People who might have considered learning more about it have kind of put those thoughts on the back burner.
Dr. Nicole Ali says deceased kidney donations are currently 9% higher than they were pre-corona, but she says living donations are still 15% less than before the pandemic. She says living donors tend to be healthier and last longer.
Having living donors is really key part of keeping people healthy and getting transplanted.
Dr. Ali says if there is a second wave, she's confident the hospitals have safe pathways for their patients.
If a second wave does come, I think we can continue to safely transplant through that.
As for Brett,
I feel optimistic.
he says he's not sure if he would have gotten a donor already if it wasn't for the pandemic, but it's something he is diligently working towards.
I just feel putting in the effort and energy to try to find an angel donor is worth all of the effort.
Shauna Narayan, News 12, Long Island.
And to find out how to become an organ donor or to get more information on it, just head on over to our website, news12.com, and click on numbers and links.
Okay, everyone, how are you this evening? This is Pastor Nick Gentile, and I'm the founder of Compassion Match. And by the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, I have a great show for you today. I will be interviewing the man featured in that news clip, Brett Ashley. Brett is a patient at North Shore University Hospital in Manhasset, New York, a Northwell hospital. He is an End Stage Renal Failure, otherwise known as ESRD, and is in need of a generous and compassionate person who's willing to come forward and be tested for him to see if they're eligible to be a living donor for Brett to save his life. Brett goes to dialysis 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. He is blood type O positive. His birthday is May 29th, 1959. He's 61, soon to be 62. And in fact, his birthday is the same as my mother's, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Now, Brett is originally from Brooklyn, New York, but now resides on Long Island. He was a merchant marine ship captain and an owner of a computer business. He was also a partner in the marketing and advertising world. He created the playbill for Radio City Music Hall and Madison Square Garden called Headliner Magazine. He enjoys fishing for summer flounder called fluke and for striped bass and blackfish. Or blackfish, yes. He's also been a guitarist for 50 years, but he has renal failure related neuropathy, which has resulted in him having horrible balance and unable to feel the neck of his guitar anymore. So there is a real sense of urgency to stop this horrible secondary disease. Now, about myself, as both a kidney and liver donor, I created Compassion Match to help people in need of a kidney transplant find living kidney donors, as well as to educate the public about chronic kidney disease and advocating for living kidney and liver donation. And Brett will share his story with the hope that at least one special person will come forward and get tested to help give him the gift of life. That's what this is about, folks. That's what this interview is about. We want people to get tested, as many as possible, because that increases the chances of Brett finding a living kidney donor. And so right now I want to read some facts about chronic kidney disease and end-stage renal failure. According to the Kidney Fund, 37 million people in the United States are living with chronic kidney disease, otherwise known as CKD. The term chronic kidney disease means lasting damage to the kidneys that can get worse over time. If the damage is very bad, your kidneys may stop working. This is called kidney failure or end stage renal disease, ESRD. This is unfortunately what Brett is dealing with and why it is so vitally important that as many people as possible come forward and get tested for him to increase his chances of finding a living kidney donor. Now, real quick, before I officially introduce Brett, have him come on and start sharing his story, I do want to share some vitally important information, I believe is vitally important, from a website called Urban Kidney Alliance. This is also about chronic kidney disease and end-stage renal failure. So let me put that up on the screen. Okay, hold on one second. Okay. And there we go. So I'm going to read this for you guys and just follow along. So we're going to do, I'm going to highlight it. It's on the left side of the screen. Knowledge is power. What is chronic kidney disease? Chronic kidney disease, or CKD, is a serious and growing public health problem in the United States. CKD is a condition in which the kidneys become damaged, decreasing their ability to filter the blood and remove water and waste products. Wastes then build up in the blood, harming the body. When kidney function decreases to less than 15%, a patient has kidney failure. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this part. Ooh, went a little too far. Kidney failure that requires dialysis or kidney transplant is often referred to as end-stage renal disease. More than 20 million Americans aged 20 and older may have CKD. Although CKD is common, many Americans with the key risk factors such as diabetes and high blood pressure do not know they are at risk. In addition, the rising rates of diabetes and obesity will continue to fuel its growth, as both conditions increase the risk of developing CKD and speed its progression. And therapies exist that can significantly slow the progression of CKD to kidney failure, particularly blood pressure control and use of medications that protect kidney function, and so on and so forth. So I also want to show on this website, there's a really good book that I encourage people to get. It's called right here, How to Survive Outpatient Hemodialysis. You can get that. It's urbankidneyalliance.org. If you go there, you can pick up the book. And Steve Belcher is the guy that runs this website and the organization. He travels around the country and educates urban communities about chronic kidney disease and the risks of chronic kidney disease causes and so on and so forth. And he wrote that book. It's his first book. So pick it up if you have an opportunity to do that. With that said, let me stop sharing this page. I'm going to bring Brett on. How are you doing, sir? How is your day gone so far, Brett? And thank you for doing this interview.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Pastor. My day is fine. Let me say up front that I did have a medical procedure from an ophthalmologist earlier today, and it's caused me to have a drippy, runny eye, similar to crying. And although this is an extremely emotional event for me, it's not crying. It's that this medical procedure is causing my eye to tear. So if you see me taking a tissue to my eye, it's not because I'm crying. It is because it's just running unabated.
Right. So what I want you to do is just tell your story. You know, you have the floor. Take as much time as you need. Tell your story. Don't leave out any details. And make your strongest appeal to people, letting them know how desperate your situation is and how badly you need a kidney transplant and a living kidney donor to get tested for you. Really, that's what I want you to do. Yep.
Thank you so much. Basically, my kidney situation started several years ago. I was being followed by a nephrologist, but my kidneys, although being followed, they were perfectly fine. They were in the their range, their functionality had diminished a little, but nothing to be of real concern about. In February of 2019, I developed an infection in my leg, and it went septic. And I wound up going to the hospital for several weeks, and they were using very powerful antibiotics to take care of the infection. The only problem is, although those medications saved my life, they shut down my kidneys, and I went in never even thinking about dialysis and came out almost a month later on dialysis. I was in the hospital for about a month, and then I was in rehab for almost a month. So it was a pretty rough time for me, and it was basically jump in the pool, because I had no research, no understanding, and no knowledge really of true kidney failure and then dialysis. While in the hospital, they put a chest catheter into me so that I could be put onto the dialysis machine. And that catheter stayed in my chest till about May of 2019, when they were able to switch me over to what had been a medical procedure to develop something on my arm called a fistula. And that is where the dialysis machine is hooked up to you. They use these very large needles and put two of them into your arm, and that's how they draw the blood out and the fluids out, and then return it back clean and with less fluids. One of the problems with dialysis is not just cleaning the blood; it's that you retain all the water that you've consumed because your kidneys are not working, and so they don't send anything to your bladder, and so fluids are removed through this machine, which is saving every patient that's on dialysis is alive because of these machines. So I have been, and I am looking for some altruistic donor, someone who can understand and wants to help another human being. We are born generally with two kidneys that function great all of our lives. We really only need one to continue to function completely normally. There's really no deficit with providing a kidney to another person. To yourself, there's no problem. And the hospital stay is short, and it's covered by insurance. And my life really depends on getting a kidney into my body. I am a guitar player for over 50 years, and in the last year, I have developed terrible peripheral neuropathy, which is a byproduct of the renal failure and being on dialysis. And so I have had to give up playing guitar because I cannot feel the guitar, the neck of the guitar. And so it has been a double whammy for me. I am also an avid fisherman. I still go fishing, but my balance is pretty compromised. And so I have to go on large boats if I'm going to go out to do some fishing. I can't go on small boats anymore. So I certainly have developed a lot of limitations during this process. And then there's the dialysis. The dialysis is exhausting. It's from start to finish about 4 hours. And then basically I come home and I go to sleep, because it's extracted all my energy during the process. So that really has become my life. It's challenging, but I'm incredibly optimistic that there is someone out there that will hear my story and want to help me and feel in an altruistic way that they're helping the human race. So I thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. I hope there's someone out there that can help me. And if at the very least you can share this video, and we can get as many eyeballs as possible on it, that will help my chances. So thank you, Pastor Nick. I appreciate you highlighting my story, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And yes, guys, please share this as far and wide as possible and on as many Facebook pages as you can, all of your social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, any way that you can share this. If you're on YouTube, this is broadcasting live on YouTube, share this on YouTube in the community section on YouTube. Just get this out here, because the more people see it, the greater chance you're going to have more than even one person coming forward and not only willing to get tested, but actually getting tested for Brett to see if they are healthy enough to donate. And if they're healthy enough, if they're blood type compatible, and if they're not, there are other options for helping Brett. And we're going to touch on that in a little bit. I do want to say this to touch on, or to piggyback off of something that you said, Brett. By the grace of God, I'm a kidney donor. And I've been living with one kidney for well over a year, and I'm doing perfectly fine. And they tell you that if you're healthy enough to donate a kidney, yes, there are potential risks, like with any major surgery, but most likely you'll be fine following surgery, because you're healthy enough. You ate right before you had the surgery, and you didn't have any issues, any underlying health conditions or hereditary issues or anything like that. So, but the only way you'll know is if you get in touch with Brett's kidney coordinator, and you see the information scrolling, transplant coordinator, at the bottom of the screen. Okay. I want you to give her a call. Now, is her last name pronounced LAVALEE? LAVALEE?
Yes.
Okay.
LAVALEE.
LAVALEE. Linda LAVALEE. You see the number there, 516-472-5800. You get in touch with her to start the testing process. And that it's as simple as that. And they'll tell you what you need to do. From my experience, what I had to do is they would send me a questionnaire, and I'd have to fill it out, send it back to them. And then if you're not able to go into the hospital immediately, if say you don't live in the area, okay, in Manhasset, New York, if you don't live there and you can't get there, you say you live in Rochester like I do and you can't get there, what they'll do is they'll send out a blood kit, a blood collection kit, a blood work kit, as well as a urine collection unit. And you have that done at a lab. It can be at a local hospital or a separate lab. And then they'll take the results and they'll send them back to the hospital. And then the hospital will determine if you're blood type compatible to be able to move forward. And if your kidney protein levels, that's what they're testing, among other things, but very much so they're focused on your kidney protein levels or your creatinine levels with the urine. And if everything checks out, they'll have you then come into the hospital, and you'll go through a series of tests, diagnostic tests, and a psychiatric evaluation. Now, if you're able to go to the hospital, they won't send that to you. You'll just go there. You'll get the blood drawn, a lot of blood drawn. You'll have a urine sample collected and given to them. You'll go through all the diagnostic tests and the psychiatric evaluation. That will happen most likely all in one day. But give her a call, get the ball rolling on the process, and help Brett. Like you said, it's about being an altruistic giver. It's about, as a Christian, I believe we do unto others, as Jesus said, is we would want them to do unto us. And so it's, put yourself in Brett's shoes. What would you want someone to do if you had end stage renal failure? You'd want them to come forward and get tested for you. So please prayerfully consider doing that. Or even if you don't believe in God, that doesn't matter. You can still come forward, and you can be a hero, and you can help to save this man's life. So give the coordinator a call. Now, Brett, let's shift to your experience and history with dialysis. Why don't you talk about that for the listening audience, and what you've endured, what you've dealt with, what you've experienced, what your experience has been with on dialysis?
Sure. I've been, I think, pretty fortunate where I chose my dialysis to take place. It's at the Parker Institute on the campus of Long Island Jewish Hospital, which is affiliated with Northwell and my transplant hospital. The professionals in there are compassionate, caring, and very good at what they do. Dialysis, there's no way around the fact that dialysis is, well, saving my life, but it is a long process 3 times a week. I put a numbing cream on my arm where my fistula is, where they insert the needles, because they're very large needles. It would be very painful without that numbing cream. They then prep my arm, put the needles in, start the machine, and I'm physically on the machine for almost 3.5 hours while it does its thing. There's a television, I can read, but the room tends to be noisy because there are 14 other chairs, a total of 15, and there are people who, who their blood pressure might shift, and it causes the machine to set off an alarm. They're very, very sensitive machines, so it's hard to really sit and concentrate and read a book. I do watch some television just to take my mind off of what's going on. Excuse me. And at the end of the dialysis treatment, when the machine is done, they then remove the needles, and my arm gets bandaged and taped up, and I'm good to go. But I walk out of there completely exhausted. It's just it's a process that really takes a toll on the body, but it keeps me alive, so I'm grateful. That's really the whole dialysis process from beginning to end, without going into all of the nitty-gritty. But again, with all of the adversity that I have to deal with, I'm grateful and fortunate to be surrounded by kind professionals that know what they're doing and keep a watchful eye on me during the entire session.
Great. That's awesome. It's good that you've had a relatively good experience with dialysis, as much as you can with dialysis. And I want to mention this, the doctor in the video that I showed in the news broadcast, in the news story that was run about Brett that I showed at the beginning of the video, at the beginning of this broadcast or this interview, talked about how living kidney donors are healthier and last longer than cadaveric donors' kidneys. So a dead person's kidney does not last as long and is not as healthy as a living person's. So, Brett can receive a cadaveric donation, but it most likely not going to last as long and it won't be as healthy. So we want a living kidney donor to come forward, get tested. And the more of you guys that come forward and get tested, again, Brett's kidney coordinators or kidney transplant coordinators information or contact information, the phone number is scrolling at the bottom of the screen along with their name. Give her a call and get tested for him. Now, there are 3 possible ways that people can help Brett. Okay. There's direct donation, which is where someone would directly donate to Brett. Self-explanatory. Then there is, and actually there's a really good website. I read information that was presented by or given by the Kidney Fund. And I want to show some information on their website about kidney donation. It's a really good general amount of information that I'd like to show. So I'm going to screen share that real quick. I'm going to take this down. Okay, screen share. Okay, there we go. Very nice. Let's see how it looks. Looks good. Okay, so let's see. Let me come back to the page. And this is on the Kidney Fund website. The link to this is in the description section of this video. Check it out. Read all the information on here. I'm not going to read all of it. And you see on the right here, for instance, it says, learn how to ask for a kidney donation. So a lot of good information on here that talks about being a living kidney donor, benefits and risks of living kidney donation and living donor surgery. I'm going to touch on some of it. So you see right here at the top, nearly 100,000 people are on the waiting list for a kidney transplant. Many more people are waiting for a kidney than for all other organs combined. Unfortunately, the number of people waiting for kidneys is much larger than the number of available kidneys from living and deceased donors or cadaveric donors. You can save a life by being a kidney donor. Now, scrolling down, I want to read this information, very important. Okay. So being a living kidney donor, if you have 2 healthy kidneys, you may be able to donate one of your kidneys to enhance or save someone else's life. Both you and the recipient of your kidney, the person who got your kidney, can live with just 1 healthy kidney, as we've already touched on. If you are interested in living kidney donation, contact the transplant center where a transplant candidate is registered, which is what I've been encouraging you to do, calling Brett's kidney transplant coordinator and getting the ball rolling on getting tested. You will need to have an evaluation at the transplant center to make sure that you are a good match for the person you want to donate to and that you are healthy enough to donate, which is what I've already touched on. If you are a match, healthy and willing to donate, you and the recipient can schedule the transplant at a time that works for both of you. They work around your schedules. These hospitals, the ones I've dealt with, they want to accommodate your schedule because they have to do what works best for both of you guys. So if you are not a match for the intended recipient, and we're going to touch on this in a little bit, but still want to donate your kidney so that the recipient can receive a kidney that is a match, you have the paired kidney exchange program, which may be an option for you. So now I'm going to scroll down. And again, I encourage you to check out the benefits of living kidney donation. You see that there. You see that information there, the benefits and risks. I'm not going to read that right now. Just go click on the link in the description section of this video. You'll get to this page and you'll be able to read it. Now, this part I do want to read, living donor surgery. Okay. If you want to be a living donor, you will need to have a medical exam with blood tests to be sure you are healthy enough to donate a kidney. Some of the tests needed may include blood tests, urine test, those 2 things I've already touched on, a pap smear and gynecological exam for women, colonoscopy if over age 50, screening test for cancer, antibody test, x-ray, electrocardiogram or EKG, which looks at your heart, and other image testing like a CAT scan, as well as a chest x-ray. And in addition to that, you'll see this information right here, okay? You are also required to meet with a psychologist, and you will be subjected to or they're going to facilitate a psychiatric evaluation or a mental health evaluation, as well as you have to meet with an independent living donor advocate to be sure you are mentally and emotionally ready to donate one of your kidneys. And if you are found to be healthy and your antibodies and blood type are well matched to the person getting your kidney, you may be approved to donate your kidney. So you have that information. And finally, I do want to touch on this. This is the surgery itself, okay? Most kidney transplant surgeries are done laparoscopically. A laparoscopic surgery is a new surgery method that uses very small cuts on the body and a thin lighted tube to look inside the body. In a laparoscopic kidney donor surgery, the surgeon makes small cuts on the donor's stomach and the kidney is removed through an incision just big enough for it to fit through. This operation takes 2 to 3 hours. It can take longer. For me, it took longer. And a kidney donor usually spends 1 to 3 days in the hospital recovering. Absolutely, that's true. The recovery period after laparoscopic surgery is much shorter than after a traditional open surgery. There are also fewer complications with laparoscopic surgery. So before the use of laparoscopic surgery, they removed a large open cut. So they removed the kidney through a large open cut. It was a lot more intensive and a lot more aggressive. This is not, and for people who may be worried about a big scar or anything like that, I'm both a kidney donor and a liver donor. I can promise you the kidney, they do it laparoscopically, which most hospitals do that. It's not really even discernible. You have to get really, really close to see it. Now, the liver donation surgery, no matter what kind of incision they do, whether it's a midline incision up the middle of your abdomen or it's like a hockey stick, it's obvious. It's very, very obvious, very big, very discernible. Still worth it. But anyways, the kidney transplant surgery for the donor is very easy. They said 1 to 3 days in the hospital afterwards. I was released after 1 day. That was a mistake because of the gas pain that you are going to experience. So make sure if you are blessed to be able to donate to Brett, or you're paired with him in the paired kidney exchange program and you help him get a kidney that way, that you request at least 2 or 3 days in the hospital, and make sure that you have over-the-counter laxatives with you to release the gas buildup, because they may not tell you about that. Like I donated through Georgetown University Hospital. They told me about so much stuff, and I'm sure they did tell me about this, but they did not emphasize it. So the gas pain can be much worse than the incision pain, which there wasn't much incision pain. So I just want to forewarn you, but I'm going to tell you right now, it was worth it. I wouldn't change anything. The pain goes away after a very short period of time. You're able to get back to work within a very short period of time, and you're able to save a life. It's more than worth it. Whatever sacrifice you have to make is worth it in the short term and in the long term. So with that said, and I want to take this off the screen. And the next thing I want to touch on is, so we touched on direct donation, or what the process entails in terms of getting tested, and then if you're chosen, the surgery and all of that. Now I want to get into blood type compatibility. I think that this is very important, so you understand, Brett is O positive, and what kind of blood type you need in order to be able to donate to him directly. So I found this really good information online, and I'm gonna screen share this page. Hold on one second. Is there anything you want to add, Brett, while I get this set up?
All I can say is my experience with with my hospital and potential donors is that the emphasis for a smooth sailing procedure and a great outcome for the donor is the hospital's #1 priority. I need a kidney. I have to get a kidney, but a donor does not have to donate. And so the hospital spends a lot of effort and energy making sure that whomever that person is, that they are healthy, that they really believe that what they're doing is the right thing and really want to do it. That, I think, is where the psych eval comes in. The social worker or psychologist is just looking to make sure you don't feel pressured, you don't feel obligated, you're doing it of your own free will, and you really, really want to be altruistic and help the recipient, which in this case is me.
Absolutely.
That's why they have Pastor Nick said about the psychology exam. It's really to make sure that you're not just saying you want to do it, but you really, really want to do it.
That's right. And they'll ask you multiple times throughout the testing process, are you sure you're doing this of your own volition? No one's making you do it. You don't feel forced to do it, etc. And, the psychiatrist will ask you a battery of questions to make sure that you're doing it for the right reason, that you understand the potential risks and ramifications. You'll get a good education. Every hospital I've dealt with has been very good in educating. The part about the gas pain, that's minor. They are very thorough. The testing process is very thorough. The education process is very thorough. But they may emphasize some things more than others. And that's why I created the show, to make sure that maybe I can provide some information and emphasize some things that maybe the hospital won't. But they give you a very thorough education. The testing process is very thorough because they want to make sure that you're healthy enough to be able to donate to the recipient. They will never approve, and I know this for a fact, they will never approve someone that is not, in their minds, completely healthy enough to donate and then to have as healthy a life moving forward after the donation, so that they want to mitigate the potential risks or ramifications that could arise following the donation surgery. So every hospital I've dealt with, whether you're talking about Georgetown or Temple University Hospital or New York Presbyterian, Weill Cornell Medical Center in New York City, have all been very, very thorough. And Brett's hospital is no different than that. They'll be very thorough. They're not going to put you in harm's way. They care very much about you. You're going to meet with the social worker, the donor advocate, the psychologist, your kidney coordinator. You have a whole team of people that are looking out for your best interest. Brett has his team. The recipient has their own separate team, and the donor has their own separate team. And I will say this, that as a donor, if you're tested and you're approved to donate for Brett, if you come forward and you get tested, you're going to have to share the information with Brett, because the donor team will not share anything with him because of HIPAA laws. They keep it within so if the recipient only hears from the recipient team, the donor only hears from the donor team. So with that, I want to keep moving here. You see the blood type compatibility page here, and you can see. So the following blood types are compatible. Donors with blood type A, like myself, can donate to recipients with blood types A and AB. If you have a B blood type, you can donate to recipients with blood types B and AB. Donors with blood type AB can donate to recipients with blood type AB only. Donors with blood type O can donate to recipients with blood types AB, AB, and O. And O is the universal donor. Donors with O blood are compatible with any blood type. So recipients with blood type O, like Brett, can receive kidney from blood type O only. Recipients with blood type A can receive a kidney from blood types A and O. Recipients, so you see this, just be aware of that. And so if you go into the process knowing that you're blood type A positive like myself, you know you can't donate to Brett directly. So here's the other options you have. And this is a perfect lead into this. So I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm going to turn to this page. This is going to deal with what's called the Paired Kidney Exchange Program, which I'm pretty sure every hospital in the country has that at this point. And certainly Brett's hospital does. So here we go. Let me go to that. There we go. Okay. Beautiful. Now, see that on the screen? Okay. And so blood type incompatible, not a match. If you have been unable to donate to a loved one because your blood types or antigens are incompatible, please consider a kidney paired exchange, okay? Kidney swap. So what it is a paired kidney exchange, also known as a kidney swap or paired match or cross match, occurs when a living kidney donor is incompatible with the recipient and so exchanges kidneys with another donor recipient pair. So on the side here, suppose there were two donor recipient pairs. Okay, I'm not going to read that. But so to explain it, to simplify it, okay, say you come forward, you get tested for Brett. Okay, you're not blood type compatible or antigen compatible, but you're healthy enough to donate. You would be paired with him in what's called the Paired Kidney Exchange or Kidney Paired Exchange Program. Then the hospital would search for another pair to match you up with. So from that other pair will be a donor and a recipient. And so you guys get matched up with the other pair, you and Brett would, and you would donate to the person from the other pair that is in need of a kidney, and the donor from the other pair would donate to Brett, who is in need of a kidney. So it's a cross match. So that way, two people are getting kidneys instead of as a direct donor. It'd be only one person getting kidney, and that in this case, it's Brett. So you come forward, you're like, I really want to help Brett, but you're not able to donate to him directly. You can donate through the Paired Kidney Exchange Program at his hospital. And when you get in touch with Brett's kidney coordinator and you see the information scrolling at the ticker tape at the bottom of the screen, Linda LAVALEE, you see, call her. This is the number, 516-472-5800, and say you want to get tested for Brett Ashley, and she'll get the ball rolling with that. And they'll find out if you're not blood type compatible, they have this program. And at the hospital, Brett, do you know if they have, because at Georgetown where I donated, they had the regular kidney transplant coordinator, and then they had a paired kidney exchange coordinator. Do you know if they have two separate coordinators or it's one and the same?
I actually don't know.
Okay. So either way, you'll find that out, guys. The regular, if they have two coordinators, a regular kidney coordinator and a paired kidney exchange coordinator, they work together. So there's no problem with that. They'll educate you on that and you'll be able to help that way. Now, a third option, and again, the link to this page is in the description section of the video. Check it out. Take your time, read it, educate yourself. It's a lot of very good information. And check out this entire website. This is the website of the National Kidney Donation Organization. It's run by a guy named Ned Brooks, who I know personally. And I'm telling you right now, he's a great guy. Take a look at it. They have a lot of good information on the home page. You scroll down and you see all this really good information. So take a look at it. And yeah, so that's what I would encourage you to do. Now I want to move on to the last possible way that you can help Brett. So the next option is what's called the Advanced Donation Program. And this is how I donate. Also, it's also known as the Voucher Program or Paired Kidney Exchange in Time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing that, and I'm going to share this next page. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Hold on one second. I have to find this. Okay, there we go. So this is info about the voucher program. And I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to highlight this. Okay. This is the information I want to read, but I want you to investigate this entire page on this website because it is chock full of information that donors, potential donors need to know, living donors need to know. Now, the voucher program, also referred to as advanced donation, is a kidney paired exchange separated in time. When a donor donates as part of the ADP, either a standard voucher or family vouchers will be provided based on the situation. So in this case, it would be a standard voucher you would be looking to get for Brett if you went this route. When a donor donates for an intended recipient who will likely need a transplant within the next year, a standard voucher will be provided for that one recipient. Standard vouchers can also be provided when a chain breaks and a donor continues with their donation to keep a portion of their chain on schedule, even though their paired recipient has been removed from that chain. Okay, so what this is, to bring it on home, to explain this, to simplify it, is if, say, you want to do more than just do a cross-match donation, you want more than 2 people to get a kidney, okay? You want to donate to what's called a kidney chain, where up to 6 or 7 people can get a kidney. What you would do is you would talk to Brett's hospital about this and see if they have the program. And you would say, okay, I'm going to donate to the kidney chain and I'm going to get a voucher for Brett. And that way, once you donate to this kidney chain and you contribute to 6 or 7 people getting a kidney, Brett gets the voucher. And then within a very short period of time, he moves right to the top of the transplant list. And he can receive a kidney within a much shorter period of time, actually, than if you were to do the cross match. In fact, because when I was told, once I was approved to do the cross match, the paired kidney exchange program, they told me it's going to probably take up to 6 months to find a match, which is not a long period of time considering people are on dialysis for years and years and years. And of course, dialysis is not a permanent solution. It's a temporary fix. But people can't be on dialysis forever. So time is short, and Brett definitely needs you to come forward and get tested for him. But so I did this. I went to Georgetown University Hospital. I went into the hospital. They set it up with me. They worked around my schedule. We got it scheduled for July of 2019. I went into the hospital. I donated to a person I've never seen before. I still haven't met them. Never seen, never met them. Don't know what they look like. Don't know their gender. At the time, I know they're male now. The hospital told me that. But at the time, I didn't know anything about them. Never saw them. But I donated that way so I could get a voucher for this person that I had attempted to get tested for but was unsuccessful. That person, her name is Terry Patterson. Within 4 months of getting that voucher, she got a kidney and would have gotten it sooner, but there was a mishap with the first person that was chosen as her donor. So this happened in August. She got the voucher and it was approved, because what you do is you sign a contract. Both of you guys sign a contract. And my part as the donor is, okay, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to donate to this kidney chain so that the person that I want to help directly, that I know is going to get a voucher. So then you do that. You keep your end of the bargain. And of course, you have to be healthy enough, and the hospital will not approve you if you're not. Same thing with a direct donation or a regular paired kidney exchange donation. And so then once you donate to that kidney chain, okay, altruistically to a person you do not know, so you're donating to one person, but they're a part of the chain, okay? And then that person, like Brett, would get the voucher. And then within a short period of time, he moves right up to the top of the list once he gets a voucher, but within a short period of time, he gets a kidney. Now, this person, her name's Terry Patterson. That's what I did. donated July 30th of 2019. Immediately she was approved for the voucher. And in November, that was the first time that she went for surgery, but there was a mishap with the donor. Next month, December, she got the transplant. So within 4 months, she received a living kidney from a living kidney donor. So this is, I'm not trying to be clumsy. I'm trying to get in as much information as I can because Brett has to get going here. But those are your three options. You can be a direct donor, you can be a paired kidney exchange donor, or you can donate through the voucher program where you would donate to one person who's a part of a kidney change and help five or six people get a kidney and get a voucher for Brett. And then he gets a kidney within a short period of time. Those are your three options. Get in touch with Linda LAVALEE, his kidney coordinator. You see the information at the bottom of the screen, the phone number. Call her, find out about the testing process, get tested, and then you can talk to her about all this other stuff. You can talk to her if you're not blood type compatible or antigen compatible. You can talk to her about the paired kidney exchange program and even the advanced donation program or the voucher program. And on this website, real quick, I want you to scroll down and take a look at all the information. So like we provide donation life insurance. We provide donation disability insurance. We provide lost wage reimbursement. We provide travel and lodging reimbursement. So they have all this really important information for living donors because, you're like, well, how can I get time off from work? What if I lose my job? What about health insurance? What about travel reimbursement or whatever? This website covers all of that information, and the system is set up in a way that favors the donor, helps the donor, and there are organizations that will give you financial aid for traveling expenses so you don't have to pay a cent to be able to travel. If you're out of state, you're not in New York State, or you're not around Long Island and you need money to travel there, there are organizations that will provide that money for you, whether it's airfare, whether it's a train fare, when you're in the area, cab fare back and forth. They'll pay for a hotel, so lodging. That website covers all of that. Take a look at it. So, Brett, what would you like to add to that?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you, Pastor Nick, for giving me the opportunity to share my story and to be so giving of your time and knowledge of this matter. As an altruistic donor, you're a very, very special person on top of everything else. All that I can say is I am appealing to anyone who listens to this video to please look within yourself and see if this is something that you would like to do to both help me live a longer, healthier, happier life, as well as helping mankind in general by doing something like this. It's a very special gift that you cannot buy. It is one human helping another human, and that's what I'm appealing for here with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and guys, it is illegal to try to sell your kidney, so don't attempt to do that. I'm just putting that out there because on certain kidney pages on Facebook, there are people trying to sell their kidney. That is illegal. You'll go to prison and you have to pay a hefty fine. We're looking for people who genuinely want to give altruistically, want to give out of the kindness of their heart to help another human being who's suffering, who's in need, desperate need of a kidney transplant. So please, again, just to recap, Linda LAVALEE, Brett's or his coordinator, his transplant coordinator's information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You see the phone number. It's coming by again. Call that number and get started with the testing process. And of course, we want you guys to donate to him directly, but you have these other options. You have the paired kidney exchange program. You have the voucher program. So it doesn't just end if you can't donate to Brett directly. There are other ways that you can help him get a life-saving kidney. And we encourage you to do that, and so the links are in the description section of the video. That information is there. Give him a call. Get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me through the Compassion Match page, a link to that page. And it's streaming. One of the pages that this interview is streaming through is that page, but you can get in touch with me through that page. I will put you in touch with Brett directly, and you guys can chat If you want to go that route where you connect with him and then get in touch with his kidney coordinator, or get in touch with his kidney coordinator, then get in touch with him, we can do that. I'll make that happen. But keep him in your prayers, guys. Step up and help him. Share this interview everywhere you can, on every page, every social media platform. Get the word out. This man needs help, and there are people out there that can help him. And that's the point of this interview, to let him tell his story, but also to educate people about the fact that you don't have to wait until you're dead. Like you mark it on the back of your license and you wait until you die to be an organ donor. You can be a living organ donor and live a perfectly healthy life after you donate, like I have. I mean, I'm a double organ donor and I'm living perfectly healthy by the grace of God. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this interview up. Any last words, Brett?
Just thank you to both yourself and to everyone that is listening, and especially those people that have been moved by this this video. I really need your help. As Pastor Nick said, dialysis is not forever. I would like to resume a normal, healthy life as soon as possible, and I can't do it without someone's altruistic support. So thank you. And if you are so inclined, please call my coordinator. And as Pastor Nick said, she'll take it from there.
Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. And I'll see you at the end of this week. I'm going to be conducting another interview at the end of this week. But God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Bye now.
Thank you so much. Good night.